What's up, YouTube?
Yo!
Back at it again, man.
Yes, sir.
Here with your boy Gilly.
I'm Miedzianowski.
And you here with React Jenkins.
Hey!
Here to bring you some Jenkins reactions.
Yes, sir.
And today, we got some more top 10 for y'all, man. Got a whole top 10 playlist, so go check that shit out. But if you shot through all that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and we really appreciate it. But we ain't gonna hold y'all up no longer. The top 10 we got for y'all today is corrupt police officers caught and jailed for a lifetime. I couldn't wait for this video. But we go hop right into it. Hope y'all enjoy.
This cop cried after being sentenced to 263 years in prison. Welcome back, Charlie here. Many cops do a great job and protect their communities, but some use their power for evil and commit heinous crimes. Here are the most corrupt police officers who were jailed for a lifetime. First, we have to look at Roy Oliver. Roy Oliver was a Texas policeman. On May 5th, 2017, he responded to a 911 call. The call said there were several underage people drinking at a party. When Roy arrived, he heard a weapon being fired. So in response, Officer Roy fired 3 rounds into a vehicle. Inside the vehicle was 15-year-old Jordan Edwards. He was unarmed, but sadly passed away due to Officer Roy's actions. 2 of Jordan's brothers and friends were also inside the vehicle. Thankfully, they survived and were actually taken in for questioning. At first, the police said Jordan's car was driving towards them in an aggressive manner, but after reviewing the body cam footage, it turned out the car was driving away from the cops. As a result of this, Roy Oliver was fired from the police force. But of course, Jordan's family and friends were still very angry. An investigation was conducted. Eventually, Roy Oliver was charged, and an arrest warrant was put out. He turned himself into the cops the same day, and in 2018 was found guilty of taking Jordan's life. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison. He appealed this, but his appeal was rejected, meaning that this cop will be behind bars for a very long time. The next cop we have to look at is Wayne Jenkins. This cop was so corrupt that an entire TV series is based off him. That is the TV series We Own This City. It's based off Sergeant Wayne Jenkins and his elite police unit called the Gun Trace Task Force. Wayne Jenkins was the head of this Baltimore Police Task Unit. They were supposed to stop crime, but instead they became the most corrupt cops of all time. Their main purpose was to take illegal weapons off the streets, but instead they stole people's weapons and then sold them to criminals. They also robbed dealers and planted false evidence. In 2018, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins was arrested and pled guilty to robbery, racketeering, and civil rights violations. That last one was for planting illegal substances on 2 men back in 2010. For all of these insane crimes, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Jenkins tried to get a lighter sentence, but the judge said no, calling Wayne Jenkins a narcotics dealer with a police badge. The judge also said he put poison into the community that he should have been protecting. Wayne Jenkins cried in court and said he was so sorry for what he did, but he committed so much crime over 7 years. Wayne Jenkins also apologized to the family of Elbert Davis. This man lost his life in a car chase started by Wayne Jenkins. Wayne Jenkins then planted illegal substances in his car, all so that Wayne Jenkins didn't get in trouble for starting a police chase. The assistant US attorney also said Wayne Jenkins operated his police unit like a gang, often targeting other gangs. That's because they knew the gangs couldn't go to the police. Moving on, we have to look at Michael Dotro. Michael Dotro was a New Jersey cop, but in 2013 he set fire to his own police captain's house. Michael Dotro used 2 massive jugs of gasoline and set fire to Captain Mark Endurko's house. He wanted to end the life of his police captain. At the time, his wife, his 2 kids, and his 92-year-old mother were all inside the house. Captain Endurko's house was badly damaged, but thankfully everyone lived. Michael Dotro was soon arrested. But why did Michael set the house on fire? Well, he was ordered by Captain Mark Ndoko to undergo a psychological evaluation. This was for bullying and harassing various staff at the police station. He also had various excessive force complaints, meaning that he was very rough and violent with people he was arresting. In court, Michael's wife lost control and shouted at him, "You're a manipulative monster." Very harsh words coming from his own wife. Eventually, Michael was charged with 17 other offenses, including buying narcotics while on duty, having illegal weapons like brass knuckles and clubs, and even slashing the tires of one of his female co-workers. Michael Dotro's wife was also arrested and charged. She gave false information during the investigation and also helped Michael with some of his crimes. Moving on, let's look at Daniel Holtzclaw. This insanely corrupt cop worked for the Oklahoma Police Department, committing his crimes in 2013 and 14. He would go to poor areas to seek out victims. He would assault these women, especially ones with criminal records, believing they'd be less likely to report him to the cops. But eventually one woman did come forward, saying that Daniel assaulted her during a traffic stop. This began a massive investigation, where Daniel's abuse of power was exposed. Many victims then came forward to say that Daniel Holtzclaw did the same thing to them. He would use his power as a cop to intimidate and manipulate them. He would also demand certain intimate favors in exchange for not arresting women. During the trial, Daniel Holtzclaw said he was innocent, but the jury found him guilty on 18 counts. He cried as he was sentenced to 263 years in prison. It's safe to say Daniel is one of the most corrupt cops of all time, but thankfully he is now behind bars and can't get his hands on any more victims. Next, we have to look at Joseph Miedzianowski. Joseph Miedzianowski was called Chicago's most corrupt cop of all time. This cop sold many narcotics and actually worked with various gang members. In 2001, he was finally arrested. This was for selling narcotics and even giving the names of undercover cops to gang members. He served 22 corrupt years as a cop. He was backstabbing his department the entire time. He was protecting gangs and even gave police ammunition to gang members. He was sentenced to life in prison. In 2018, he requested his sentence to be reduced, but this was denied by a judge in 2021. The judge said Joseph lived a double life as a cop and gang member at the same time, calling him the most corrupt cop he had ever seen. Next, I have to show you Kenneth Blue. Kenneth Blue was a cop in Michigan, but when his actions came to light, the community was shocked. Kenneth took the life of Jennifer Webb, a 32-year-old pregnant woman. Kenneth had been having an affair with Jennifer and was the father of their unborn child. But because Kenneth was married, he wanted to keep their affair hidden. So he convinced Jennifer to meet him in a quiet area. He then shot Jennifer Webb, leaving her to die. Jennifer's body was eventually found. A bullet casing and some tire tracks linked Kenneth to the scene of the crime. DNA evidence later proved Kenneth was guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison. Now I have to show you Eric Devalkenaere. This Kansas City police officer was arrested for taking an innocent man's life. Eric Devalkenaere ended the life of Cameron Lamb. Eric Devalkenaere was responding to a 911 call. It was about a red pickup truck. That was when he saw Cameron Lamb's red pickup truck outside his house. Eric Devalkenaere entered Cameron Lamb's property without a warrant. He also did not identify himself and was wearing plain clothing. Eric Devalkenaere pointed his weapon at Cameron. He then yelled that Cameron had a weapon and shot him 4 times. This all happened within 9 seconds of Devalkenaere arriving at Cameron's house. Eric Devalkenaere was found guilty in 2021 and was sentenced to 6 years behind bars. Next, let's look at Zachary Wester. This Florida cop was accused of abusing his power. He would plant many substances on motorists during traffic stops, and would then arrest them on false charges. An investigation was then started, and it was found Zachary Wester had been doing this for many years. He would also steal money from the motorists he arrested. He was even caught on body cam planting illegal substances in a woman's car. It's believed he did this dozens of times. In 2019, he was fired as a cop, and in 2020 he was arrested and taken to court. In 2021, he was found guilty of 19 charges and was sentenced to 12 years in prison for his crimes, and was ordered to pay money to his victims. Finally, let's look at Stephanie Rogina. It's not often you see female cops fired or arrested, but in 2017 this female cop from New Jersey was pulled over She had been speeding and driving drunk. She argued with the cop who arrested her, and even asked if they wanted to see her police badge. Stephanie was later fired as a cop, but it's not known if she faced any criminal charges for her actions. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Which of these cops was the most corrupt? Thanks for watching. I've been Charlie. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting?
The most corrupt. Man, I don't even. The most corrupt. They all sound horrible.
All shitty as fuck.
Yes. To be honest, y'all, none of these people got enough years. Everybody in this video should got like. Maybe not the last girl. They said she was driving drunk. She should have just been fired, I guess, or what the damn. But the rest of these motherfuckers, those niggas should have had life. You got people out here taking innocent people's lives. You got people out here just
kids at that.
Right, shorties. Matter of fact, that first nigga, that's the worst nigga because they're talking about he heard gunshots and then he seen a car that had some black kids in it. He was like, yeah, they the ones that gotta be doing the shooting.
Right. Then they're talking about, they was driving towards me aggressively.
What?
They were driving away on camera.
That means they was driving away from the gunshots.
Exactly.
Not even you. They was driving away from the gunshots. So obviously, if they not as scared as you, they're even more scared because they don't know what the fuck going on.
Exactly.
So probably him, but all them other niggas was super corrupt too.
And then it's crazy, like the only motherfucker that got life was a motherfucker that was helping the gangs. Like nobody that got killed or none of that shit.
Yeah, because the one that was helping the gangs, he was part of the gang and part of the police. So he was helping them. I'm gonna say basically helping them kill police because like if you helping them, get away with stuff, trying to help the niggas that you supposed to be with. You trying to help them. So it's like, I see why they gave him like, oh, you went against your own kind. You know what I mean? But all the other niggas talking about some 6 years, 12 years.
Shit ain't shit, bro.
And no telling if some of them try to get lighter sentences or what they call that? Reduce sentences if they got it or not. So a nigga that got 6 probably did 3. You feel me? So that shit.
Then they in jail. They in PC. Shit.
Yeah, all of them in PC. So if motherfuckers gonna get up with them, that gotta be a motherfucker that got life or something. That's like I don't give a fuck. Like it gotta be somebody like that that's gonna try to get up with them. But other than that, all these niggas is still back out here. They're not police no more, but they back out here doing fucked up shit to people. So that ain't even it. That's even it. Up. And I feel like as a police officer, if you do something fucked up as a police officer with that power and that responsibility, you should get double the sentence of any regular person.
Yeah.
Because we put our trust in you and this is what you do with it. Man, get the fuck out of there.
And they was all white.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna cut that part out.
They was all Caucasian European descendants, except for that one dude that looked like had Down syndrome. I don't know what the fuck he.
Yeah, he looked like a Indian.
I don't know.
Mexican,
Asian.
I don't know. Yeah, he looked like
molest them women.
Oh yeah. He was just. I mean that crime I understand because I mean, come on, bitch. You gonna go to jail, suck a dick. What are you gonna do? Come on now. But he bogus. He picked bitches with criminal records. I would not do that.
You would pick the clean record?
I would pick anybody. I would pull over Zendaya and tell her, look, bitch, I will ruin your career.
This nigga's a menace.
I would pull over Fatima and be like, well, what we gonna do here? Baby? Appreciate y'all sitting through this, man. Hopefully y'all had a good time. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. And we really appreciate it. But until next time, we see y'all later.
Peace.